There's always going to be something to see somewhere in the world, but there are a ton of unique and breathtaking destinations in a single country. So you might be wondering which ones are the best choice for your getaway. We're here to answer those questions with our travel guide for this unique getaway. So buckle in your seatbelts, get ready for an adventure to Rhode Island. 10. Does long stretches of fine white sand sound like a dream to you? Visit the memorable spots of Narragansett and South Kingstown, south of Providence. There, you'll be able to find tons of public beaches on the protected waters of Narragansett Bay. And visit Watch Hill, being this delightful old-fashioned resort town with an amazing beach, a lighthouse, and a historic carousel. Narragansett Town Beach is a classic New England saltwater coastal beachfront that has the cleanest and accessible beach conditions for residents and tourists in New England. There are more than 30 islands in the bay that are up for enjoyment, so go ahead and pick one and enjoy. 9. 10 miles offshore, Block Island is reached by ferry from Point Judith on the south coast. In this laid-back little new harbor, you'll be able to find lodging and dining. You can take a bicycle or walk to several beaches, even to the Victorian Southeast Lighthouse. With the Mohegan Bluffs being a 3-mile stretch of coastal cliffs with a 200-foot drop to the ocean, at the foot of those amazing cliffs is a beautiful beach. Although the prospect of climbing back up the 151 steps might discourage you, miles and miles of trails intersect throughout the island and are super popular with birdwatchers who come to get a sight of more than 150 species resting here in the fall. A weekend on this island with its faraway feeling would be one of the most romantic things to do in Rhode Island. 8. Go ahead and see some stunning views from Colt State Park, which is considered the gem of the state park system. The park sits in front of Narragansett Bay, so definitely take a drive along the shoreline, or you can go ahead and bike through the shoreline or through the park with 4 miles of bike trails, where you'll be able to see the carefully protected fruit trees and flowering shrubs. The park is near Bristol, which is home to a spectacular 4th of July fireworks display since 1785. Take a moment to reflect on life in the open-air chapel by the sea. The park is named after industrialist Samuel P. Colt and was originally the location of his summer home. 7. Sailing, and more specifically the America's Cup race, is deeply ingrained into Newport culture and history. To get an insight into this tradition and to see some models and actual restored boats, visit Herreshoff Marine Museum, the museum commemorating the Herreshoffs and their boat designs. The most epic feat would be designing and building 8 consecutive successful defenders of the America's Cup from 1893 to 1934. The America's Cup Hall of Fame is part of the museum, which features more than 60 sailing and power yachts, along with the displays and videos on boat building and sailing. 6. Being so fortunate to have a husband who gave her an 11 million cottage on her 30th birthday, that's exactly what Kenneth Vanderbilt, a grandson of Commodore Cornelius Vanderbilt, did. The marble house was modeled after the Petit Trianon from Versailles. Built between 1888 and 1892, the structure used 500,000 cubic feet of marble at a cost of $7 million. The marble house set the stage for Newport to transform from a quiet village into this playground filled with grandiose summer homes for the wealthy. The mansion instantly became a landmark in Newport society. Five. The Elms is another one of the overly luxurious summer homes in Newport. This one was built by the Berwin family in 1898. The Elms, however, isn't as over the top as the others, since it only cost $1.4 million to build. And when we say only, some of them cost astronomically a lot more. With the interior still being lavish and luxurious, the amazing part here is the classical revival gardens, with marble and bronze sculptures on terraces, marble pavilions, a sunken garden, and luxury fountains. The construction started in 1907 and took 7 years to create the gardens, 6 years after that to finish the mansion. Four. Old Harbor can be found on the east side of Block Island. That's just a scenic ferry ride away from the mainland Rhode Island. The picturesque harbor, boasting the Victorian waterfront, is filled with luxury yachts and boats, which isn't surprising, as Old Harbor is one of England's premier boating destinations. It's a safe and spectacular harbor, protected by a breakwater. Once shoreside, you'll be able to find a plethora of seafood restaurants, shops, and unique inns to stay while you explore this historic district of Block Island's resort community of New Shoreham. New Shoreham is actually considered one of the most attractive cities in New England. Three. The Breakers is Newport's most spectacular and decorated Gilded Age mansion. One of the most, if not the most visited house museums in the United States, built by Cornelius Vanderbilt in 1895. It reflects the unimaginable wealth of the Vanderbilt family. The Italian Renaissance summer cottage has 70 rooms, including a grand 3-story dining room, and was built using imported French and Italian marble and alabaster. Ceiling paintings, mosaics, marble columns, fine wood paneling, and carved stucco decorate its rooms lavishly and ostentatiously, as was intended by the Vanderbilts, who never risked being outdone by their wealthy competitors. Because a previous mansion owned by Pierre Lorillard IV on the site burned, Vanderbilt insisted his mansion be fireproof, so steel trusses were used for structural support and is the grandest house in Newport, which is an amazing sight to visit and view and just soak in the amazing luxury that is the Breakers. Two. Despite the past efforts of the rich on the preferred oceanside of Bellevue Avenue who wanted to close off access, Newport's Cliff Walk has remained a public walking path since the days when the great mansions were at their prime. The pathway along the rocky shore provides travelers stunning views of breakers crashing on the rocks below, as well as the gardens and sea-facing facades above in the mansions. one of the most popular and free things to do in Newport. The cliff walk begins well before the breakers, the first major mention it skirts, and after 3.5 miles, it passes by Rough Point and the end of Bellevue Avenue. One, Providence is both the capital and the largest city in the state of Rhode Island. Nicknamed the Creative Capital and the Divine City, Providence was founded in 1636, making it one of the oldest cities in the nation. Roger Williams, an exile from Massachusetts Bay Colony, founded the city in the name of the sanctuary he found, a gift from God's merciful providence. The city is home to Brown University, the Roger Williams Zoo, the Rhode Island School of Design's Museum of Art. Providence is also home to the Big Blue Bug, a roadside attraction that is the world's largest termite. So there is plenty of sightseeing to be done in Providence, and you'll surely remember it in your memory books. So with an endless list of destinations, activities, and experiences this amazing and luxurious destination has to offer, each and every journey will always fill you with something different and unique. So, were there any other traveler destinations we haven't mentioned? Comment down below, and we'll be sure to check them out. What are you waiting for then? Gather your travel buddies, buckle in your seatbelts, and get ready for an adventure. And with that, until next time.